What's up, ladies and gents? It's the final roundup of what I like to call the Rex Viper Summer. James Rolfe's balls were bricked up with an arsenal full of cannon fodder to blast all over our eager faces in the form of multiple video releases from the one and only Rex fucking Viper. All of this crap had been waiting in the wings for some time. And by some time, I mean like 4 years or so. Why did they wait this long to blow this much material in a weekly release during the summer of 20 and 25? Who knows? Probably because James or Screenwave thought this was the smartest release strategy to raise hype for Rex Viper's new full-length album, Turbocharger Deluxe. That's right, the full-length album from Wet Diaper is finally here, and after this video, you will have the holy trifecta of video reviews from me. But for now, let's finish off the Rex Viper Summer properly by reviewing the last 5 original videos from the band, the myth, the legend, Rex Viper. This is Dancing with Ghosts. Supersonic, the problem's chronic. Tell me those life is beyond it. Starting off the Rex Viper Summer, we had Supersonic Boom, another new one from the Snake Pit that combines Bad Religion's Supersonic. I could go supersonic, the problem's chronic. Tell me, does life exist beyond? The Green Hill Zone theme from Sonic the Hedgehog. And Sonic Boom from Sonic on the Sega CD. What a fucking mess this is. First off, and most glaringly, Bad Religion, since when are they considered an 80s band? Sure, they dropped some albums in the 80s, but overwhelmingly, the majority of this band's success came in the 90s and beyond. In fact, the song Supersonic is off Bad Religion's 2002 album, The Process of Belief. Obviously, someone in this band is a fan of Bad Religion, and James Rolfe probably wanted to shoehorn a Sonic song into Rex Viper at some point, so the two came together. Like hot sauce and chocolate. This mashup was a mess. I will say that British James is actually singing in a range that doesn't give my vocal cords secondhand laryngitis. Because unlike most singers this band tries to copy, Greg Graffin from Bad Religion actually has a vocal range that is attainable for most male singers. Kind of low and gruff tone. In fact, I dare say this range might be a little bit too low for British James. This man just cannot win with his vocal wheelhouse. Aside from all that though, this musical arrangement goes all over the place. At first, the band is just straight up covering Bad Religion's Supersonic, but then not so gracefully transitioning into the Green Hill Zone theme from Sonic. Supersonic, the problem's chronic. Tell me those life exist beyond it. What I need to say, I just exist. Like, literally it feels like you just transitioned into another song, with the tempo being the only consistent factor that glues these two pieces of music together. But it doesn't stop there. The band then goes into the Sonic Boom theme from the Sega CD. Sonic Boom, Sonic Boom, Sonic Boom, Sonic Boom, Sonic. And at this point, they've completely lost me. I researched all these pieces of music individually, and they're all pretty much in the same key, despite how awkward the transitions sound. However, Sonic Boom is one of those songs that has this weird half-step up thing on the chorus, which sounds good on its own as a standalone song, but when mashed up with 2 other songs, it makes it sound like 4 or 5 songs. This mashup has no anchor. The music video itself is your standard Rex Viper fare of a bunch of dudes in an undignified practice space. This time, it's in someone's basement. There are copious amounts of video game footage and live performances sprinkled in. No green screen garbage this time. This was probably one of James Rolfe's more lower effort videos, but not as bad as The Touch. Up next, we have Never Surrender. So this is the first time I'm hearing the studio versions of a lot of these songs, and they sound a hell of a lot better than the live versions that I've been subjected to for the past couple of years. You just gotta love the magic of the studio, am I right? When you're in a controlled environment with the luxury of multiple takes, auto-tune, and sobriety, there's no stopping the kind of potential that you can bring to the table. Now, if only they could pull it off live. They can't. The music video mainly takes place in the Nerd's video rental room, complete with a breakaway wall and a bit of green screen garbage to boot. The video itself isn't all that compelling, but it seems fitting enough given the theme of the song, the band covering 80s power rock and all that from movie soundtracks. What isn't all that compelling is British James rocking a 9 Inch Nails t-shirt in an 80s themed music video. Just please don't include a good band in the same video as Rex Viper. He wore the same shirt on stage once. Kinda makes me wonder if this is the singer's subtle way of suggesting that he would rather be making serious music instead of goofy 80s mashups that only nerds at cons are going to be into. The drummer is yet again playing something goofy, but this time instead of a rock, it's a little toy drum kit. I'm assuming space limitations would be the reason for this, and you know, whatever. It's fine. Clearly this is not a band that even remotely takes itself seriously. Up next we have that vocal splitting song. You're the best around. Okay, first things first, those fucking backup vocals in the chorus. What is happening? Dude, talk about the studio version giving you a boost. This shit is hilarious. How can you put this out and then follow it up with this? Now, back in the 1970s, bands would just have a bunch of talented members who could contribute backup vocals to flesh out a live performance. Carry on my wayward son. There'll be peace when you are done. Then by the time the 2000s came around, a lot of bands started using pre-recorded backing tracks for their vocals, which is a totally accepted technique that is used to this very day. Why, I wonder, would Rex Viper not include these backup vocals in the chorus, which makes the song sound 10 times more listenable, instead of having British James shred his naked vocals, yielding only the most lackluster of results? I know I'm beating a dead horse at this point, but man, this was definitely a surprise to hear all those extra backup vocals on the studio version. Later on in the video, they go into the Killer Instinct theme from the video game of the same name, and it's just awkward. Yet again, this was not one of Rex Viper's better mashups. There is goofy movie footage edits, clips of the Karate Kid video game from the NES, you know, the one that the nerd famously played badly on purpose, and live clips, which always look like ass when they're interspersed with footage from a better camera. Up next, we have The Hero of Time. This is the first straight-up parody song that Rex Viper has ever done. They are doing a parody of Bonnie Tyler's Holding Out for a Hero, but it's Legend of Zelda themed. Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached peak nerd Comic-Con energy at this point. Though I will say, I do like the blink and you missed it claymation effects that are used. Everything else about this video is stock and uninspired. You know, for a guy who made a whole ass movie in Los Angeles with union workers, sets, and locations, James Rolfe sure does skimp out when it comes to his latest passion project. All of the performance scenes in this video are shot in a basement with black drapes and a fog machine. This is the same kind of project I would expect from an aging uncle who likes to get together with his other dad friends on the weekend and just fuck around. It's not like this is a lazy project, however. Time and energy were put into these videos, but James Rolfe is a one-trick pony when it comes to cinematography and production value. Aside from the new Mighty Wings video, if James Rolfe is directing your project, it's most likely going to be in a basement with copious amounts of cheesy green screen. Ultimately, it seems like James's vision these days is let's film all of this in my bedroom and make it look as cool as possible, even though I have the resources to do something way better. I don't get it. If you're going to put all of this effort into learning these song mashups, why not go the extra mile and rent a space that doesn't look like a basement? I've said it once and I'll say it again. Great looking locations do a lot of the heavy lifting for you when it comes to band performance shots. Musically, and probably non-surprisingly, British James is struggling to keep up with the vocal range of Bonnie Tyler and is just filleting his voice on this song. He can climb in the rain, in the storm and the quakes. Every sword he picks up, he just fucking breaks. Even on the studio recording, it sounds like British James is struggling to get these notes out. I believe, so far, this is the song that is the most outside of British James's vocal range, and is probably why they've never played it live to my knowledge. So, the final new song of the Rex Viper Summer was this random cover of What a Feeling from the Flashdance soundtrack with, quote, a little F-Zero thrown in. This is a James Rolfe production through and through, from the beginning green screen and post-production effects to the FootageCrate.com backgrounds. I mean, yeah, I used this site. This is where he got these backgrounds from. I mean, ultimately, this is a functional music video for the internet. Honestly, it's fine. I'm glad they aren't loading it with video game footage or shitty live performances. This is a video that would have absolutely gone viral 15 years ago, back when YouTube was in its infancy, but now it just looks outdated and undercooked. Oddly, I kind of like British James's voice in this song. Call it Stockholm Syndrome or a testament to how good the melody was in the original song, but yeah, I can tolerate this song. Editing Bay Josh here. I just wanted to clarify that British James's British teeth aren't really that nasty and he's not wearing some weird retainer. This is what happens when you use so much green screen that it starts making green reflections on your teeth and face and you get those weird keyed out black and green bits and all that. So that's what that is. It's just heavily green screened with slightly improper lighting. I will say, however, British James is singing at the very top of his range in the chorus, and this is another song that I highly doubt will ever be played live. As far as the mashing up of F-Zero in the song goes, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but can any of you out there hum any theme to any F-Zero song? I can't. When they break into that part, it just seems distracting and unnecessary for this. This Rex Viper Summer was in like a lion and out like a lamb with this release. A bit underwhelming, but what the fuck was I actually expecting from this band in the first place? So congratulations, you survived the Rex Viper Summer. That was a lot of content to take in. How are you feeling? I'm just checking in with you and being a good friend. I think you pretty much know my feelings about this E-Celeb at this point. There are better bands out there who have been doing this for way longer, but they don't have James Rolfe as a rhythm guitar player, so nobody's heard of them. I think the new batch of videos are fun to watch once, but there's no way they are shareable. This is purely a curiosity piece and it stops there. I think as a studio band, Rex Viper are pretty solid, but again, if you can't replicate that shit live, then you are a phony and deserve to be made fun of. You can hear so many assists from the studio on these recordings. As someone who is way too acquainted with their live performances, I can tell you that this band relies heavily on studio trickery to pull off their songs in these little internet music videos. I mean, it is what it is. If you're into this shit, you're going to check it out. If you're gawking at it, you're probably going to check it out. If you hate it but once loved James Rolfe, you're probably going to check it out. At the end of the day, James wins again. Consarn it! Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments below, and until next time, have a good rest of your night. Also, if you'd like to check out my Patreon, I have a bunch of exclusive videos, like me reacting to Doug Walker's review of The Room, a shit ton of album reviews, a movie review, and even a video of all the vocal impersonations I can do. So if any of that intrigues you, head on over to patreon.com/dancingwithghosts to become a member. The link's in the description.